Welcome to our 2022 Clipper 17 CBH. Starting right in your back bumper here, just kind of reach in, pull that cap out of there. Inside of the bumper, you're going to find your sewer hose. Take note of those two ears and the adapter here. It's how we hooking it up to your sewer system. And the hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. Just keeping it stored in the bumper back here to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things a bit cleaner. And that cap just kind of presses back into place. There we go. In this corner, as well as the other back corner of the unit, you got these stabilizer jacks. All they do is they run down, contact the ground, give it another turn or so just to firm it up, and that'll get rid of any sort of bounce or sway that you see got in the unit right now, just to keep things firm while you're out camping. A step ahead from there, we get your sewer system. Kind of press on that cap and give it a turn, pop it on out of there. You see it's got the same ears on it that your sewer hose had. It'll attach the same way. You're just pressing it in, turn it until it locks into place. On the left, you get a gray valve. On the right, you get a black. Black valve is controlling your black tank. Black tank is filling your toilet. Of course, it's going to be your dirtiest water, so we'll dump that first. Once that's done, you can then come to the gray. Gray tank is going to be filled from your sinks as well as your shower. Typically, cleaner water will dump that last to help keep that sewer hose as clean as possible. Another step forward, we get your cable and satellite inlet. Coax cable plug into there, fire up at your TV location. In front of that's the power inlet. So as you pop this open, you're going to find a little notch in the bottom right corner there. It's going to line up with this notch here. Press those in together, and then a little eighth turn will lock it into place, and you get the threaded collar in the back there to properly lock it down. As you follow the cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end there. Most campsites will have that. You can plug straight on in and you're good to go. We do also provide you with a 15 amp adapter, so if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. Hot water tank here, just line up that keyway and you can pop it on open before turning it on with either your controls just inside the unit. You're just going to pop that relief valve right there. Make sure you're getting that bit of water coming out. If you're not getting that water coming out of there is a chance that it's empty and you do run the risk of burning out your elements. You just want to make sure that's opened up or filled up before you fire it up. Once you're done, just closing it back down with that keyway. Fresh water inlet here, you just unscrew that cap and your water hose will plug into there, turn on the water, and that fills up your fresh water tank. You know that tank is full once it starts spitting water out of this vent right there. Down underneath, it's your city water connection. Same water hose will plug into there, turn on the water, and they'll pressurize the lines throughout the unit. And then down underneath the unit, we get this little white plug over here. So as we unscrew that, the fresh water tank will drain itself out. I'll just let that go for a bit here. Storage compartments here. So as you open that up, you get that little finger on the left side there. It holds it open for you. Inside of here, you'll find your water hose. Inside of the water hose, you're going to find your park adapter. So your 15 amp to a standard outlet, 30 amp for your short cord right there. On front of the unit, you get this battery box right here. So your battery is housed right inside of there. As long as you're plugged into that short cord in the back or your 7-pin to your tow vehicle, the battery is charging for you. Underneath this cover here is your propane tank. So if you just kind of reach in the back there, you can turn that knob to open it up. It's just a standard 20-pound propane tank in there. In front's a standard tongue jack. One way's up, other way's down. Solar panel plug-in right there. So just a 2-prong plug would go into there, charges your batteries. Right behind it, you get kind of your storage compartment here. That little jack there would just be for running your stabilizers. 2 little vents for your fridge there. Nothing really back there for you to worry about. They are just venting. GFI protected outlet. Up from there, you find your stove vent. So you get this little flap in there. You just want to make sure that's opened up so that our fan inside can evacuate any sort of fumes from the stove. Exhaust for your furnace. So if you're ever running your furnace, just make sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. Down underneath, you get those 2 little caps in the back there. If you unscrewed those, it allows the water system to drain itself out. So if you leave in the unit for a while, you don't want your water going stale or stagnant, you just drain it before you go. Little leash latch in the back there, so you've got the dog out with, you can tie him down. Then you get your spare tire in the back here, as well as a pre-wired mount for a rear view or observation camera. Now we'll make our way inside of the unit here. Just going to open up your door, and I'll just point out real quick here, if you've got your door wide open, it does contact your awning arm. So if you're going to be running your awning, you just make sure your door is about 90 degrees or so. You do need it wide open for your steps though. You can pull that yellow handle over either way. It'll pop on out. You get the little quick latch there. You just push that pin up. Allows you to extend or retract your legs based on your campsite needs. As you come inside, first things first, right on the left there, you get your fire extinguisher. That's standard. Pull the pin, point, and shoot. Kind of straight up the wall, you find your GFI protected outlet. Test on the left, reset on the right. So if you ever have outlets that don't work, it's the first thing you should check. Up from there, in the center right here, you've got your ceiling light. That'll do all of your interior lights. On the right side is your awning light. It does your outside light there. Center left, you got your water pump. You turn that switch on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of your fresh tank to pressurize your lines. Water heater on the left side there. So as you turn that on, you get that little red light letting you know your ignition sequence will start. Once that sequence is started, that light's going to go out. It's going to try that 3 times. If after the 3rd try it hasn't fired up, that light's going to come on and stay on. At that point, you'll just turn that off and back on to reset it. Up top you have monitor systems. So on the left is battery. You can see we're currently C for charging. G would be good, F is spare, L is low. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, will go to a third, 2/3 and full. Same idea for your black and your gray tanks. Awning is on this switch here. Press and hold extend and that awning will make its way out. Once that awning is fully extended, you're going to see a little black flap come down as well as the black of the metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to stop. If you're to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case your fabric would be underneath the tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. That's just a little sticky, so it'll come back, and there it is. And there's the tube, so we'll stop right there. Now, if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyways. What you can do is grab either arm, front or rear. It's going to pull it in. Then once you have it in, you can tighten that little knob down. And you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. Now, if you like that angle better because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm at front. Before you bring it back in though, you just make sure these knobs are loosened off and the arm's fully extended, just so you're not running the risk of bending them. Then you can press and hold the track, and the awning will make its way back in. Again, you're just watching to make sure that your fabric's over top of the tube. And the last thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind, so once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, you want to bring it back in, again, just so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. So right up above your GFI outlet is your thermostat here. So this is going to control just your furnace. So if you have that slider all the way over to the left, that's it turned off. As you turn it to the right, you'll hear it click. And all the way over to the right, it's going to be max heat. Anywhere kind of between the click and the right side is going to be your temp selection. Furnace outlet is just right in the back here. You just have this one duct. You can just kind of turn that between shooting left and right or up and down. Once you're done, just sliding it all the way over to the left until it clicks, and that's it then turned off. Right beside your entrance here, you got your TV backer. Straight up from it, you got your cable and satellite outlet, as well as your power outlet for it. And just storage across the front here. Little light up top, just in its own center push button there. And then if you just pick up the side of the bed here, you do get access to your front storage compartment. Kind of right underneath that handle's your LP detector. Propane's heavier than air, sits on the floor. That guy detects it and starts going off just like a smoke detector would. Smoke detector is straight up from it. Simple as that. Storage above your dinettes here. Of the little light right above the dinette there. Dinette you can see is currently set up as the dinette. If you're to take your table here, fold those legs on up, you get through 4 little black ledges there that the table will then sit onto. Take your back cushions, fill in the middle, kind of creates your bed. In the kitchen here, your storage right up top, you're going to find that binder in there. It's got all of your owner's manuals in it, any remotes, any keys, you'll find them right in there. Little light up here as well. Hot and cold water at your sink, of course. These sink cover is made of the same material as your cover, or as your sink, or countertops. The fridge there just pops on open. You get your power button on the left. So once it's turned on, you're going to run from auto. Auto is first looking for AC power. If AC power is taken away, it'll automatically flip over to gas. If you're out boondocking and you want it run solely on gas, you're going to have that button come out. It'll fire up just on gas. If that checker light were to come on there, it's just letting you know it hasn't fired up. At that point, just off back on to reset it. Thumb latch on the left side there, you just push that up and then you can open it on up. Get your little freezer compartment up top, freezer or fridge for the rest of it. Storage underneath your sink, just being mindful of your drains and your water lines. A little microwave cubby there, so you do have kind of the outlet in the back. You also get your light here as well as your fan. So this is that fan that you want turned on with that flap outside opened up. For the stove here, you're going to turn that over to light, grab a lighter. There we go. Simple as that. A little pantry storage space here. Inside of there, you're going to find that little sample pack. So that's going to be for your black tank. So after the first couple of times you use that toilet, you'll just take that whole bottle, dump it down there. It'll just help break down whatever's in there. Underneath your furnace is your power converter. You're going to press the top and center. It'll pop on open. You get all of your breakers on the left side there. Whenever a breaker breaks, it sits in the center. So turn it off and then back on to reset it. On the right side are all of your fuses. And in the bathroom, as you come through here, you get your light switch right up on the wall there. This little switch right here is tied into your furnace. So if you got this door open, your furnace is not going to fire up. So just keep that in mind. Roof vent straight up from there. You just turn that knob to open it up. Toilet here flips on open, then get your flusher front and center. In the shower, it's all standard head and hose, hot and cold water course. Simple as that. And then the bunk spaces here, the lights are just on their own center push buttons. For this emergency exit, you're taking that red tab to get rid of the screen, take this handle here, throw it outside, hop on out. Blinds throughout the unit, just kind of sit where you leave them. Bunk space underneath is identical. You get the little light here, USB charging, and then lastly, just a little bit of storage underneath it. So that's about it for this little guy. If you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.